Hello, and welcome to another episode of 5 Minutes with Franza. Today we're going to be setting up a sound system. It is pretty straightforward once you can get the idea of what needs to go where. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to open it up. For our wireless mics, we have a cable that comes up the front, and we're just going to pick a jack to put it in. In this case, I'm going to put it in number 7, because number 7 is lucky. Alright, to turn this on, just so you know, let's come around back. I've already plugged the power in. Okay, so that's plugged in, so we have electricity, always important. We flip the on switch there. Once that's on, now we're going to come around to the back. As you can see back here, this part actually takes care of my front 2 speakers. So we turn that on. We then come down. This one down here is my rear speakers. Okay, notice that this power pack is for the wireless handheld mics. This sometimes will get knocked loose in shipping. You'll see it hanging down. Just plug it back in. Okay, this cord is the one that we brought around to the front. Okay, with that there, next thing we do, we've already run our speaker cables because it's easy. I'm going to plug in my front left. I'm going to plug in my rear left. Okay, I'm going to plug in the rear right, and last but not least, I'm going to plug in my front right. All my speakers are connected. I then need to go to each individual speaker to get them set up. Move my antennas, flip that on, and notice that my volume is low, so I'm going to bring it up about halfway. Okay, also when you want to set up the sound system, you're going to need to connect to get the rear speakers to work. You're going to have main out, you plug that in, and then you come down over here and you see on the bottom, now what this is doing is this is feeding from this, which is my main, which everything is connected to, into this, which feeds my rear speakers. Let's go to the speakers. Okay, here we are at the back of the speaker. We're going to take our plug, and you notice I have 2 choices. You can choose either one, it doesn't matter. What we can do with these is in theory, I can plug a cable into here, like so, and then I could take another cable and plug it into here and feed my next speaker. So that'll allow me to daisy chain the speakers so I can have, in theory, an infinite number of speakers. But remember, the more speakers we have plugged in this way, because they are getting the power over this cable, we're going to get a diminishing return, and each time the speaker is going to be a little bit softer and a little bit softer. So since we have 4 speakers and we have 4 ins, we're going to run 1 to each. It should also be noted, you see this little loop here? This is designed to run your cable through it, so that way it'll take any tension that the cable might have on the plug over here. So I just usually run it through into a loop like that. Now for the handheld microphones. Never, never, ever, 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 ever keep the batteries inside the microphones. What's going to happen? They're going to go bad, and it's going to be real stinky. Match up the plus to the plus. It's marked on the battery, and it's also marked on the remote itself, so you know exactly how to put the battery in. Screw on the top. Once the top is screwed on, notice that on the back it's marked. See, this one is purple, white, blue, I think the other one is green. When we go over to our sound system, you'll notice that the colors are marked. Okay, when I turn on my microphone, you'll see that the purple F will light up. That lets me know that I'm getting signal. I flipped the power on over here previously, so we have power. This is on mic input 7. Notice when I flip it on, the red light does not stay lit, so don't panic. Then we test for sound. 1, 2. I can adjust the sound on each microphone individually up here, or, because I'm lazy, I can change all of them on this input right here. On a side note, this input over here feeds my my CD player and my cassette player. So if I wanted to listen to music, I could power it up. I choose this sound level. This controls the sound level for my CDs. In this case, this controls the sound levels for my microphones. And this main one controls the sound overall. Notice I still have plenty of inputs for anything else that I might want to plug in, including a wired handheld microphone. There we go. I recommend that you test each and every microphone. Never leave it up to fate, because then you're going to be screwed. Okay, say I turned the second one on, that came on, I would then go and try the third and the fourth. Once you have it, then what you want to do is you want to walk around the room talking on the microphone. What that will do is that'll let you see if you have any soft spots. If you do, then go and adjust your speakers and volume accordingly. Thank you and for listening to 5 Minutes with Franza. I'm your host, Dr. Thomas Franza. I hope you found this useful.